I was always a child living in the cracks of the system, a social outcast. When I was 16 years old, the Children's Aid Society intervened. My dissociation was strong enough. I don't have a clear memory except the feeling of fear. Because of the dissociation, I was not qualified to be in a group home. I was sent home to live with my parents again. I had to move from one psychiatric hospital to another for about 2 years. I desperately wanted to have an adult who would watch over me, and I didn't have one. On my 20th birthday, I thought about how I would live my life from now on. I even considered suicide as an option. But I remember that when I was in the psychiatric hospital, the nurse was really kind to me. I didn't behave well, but the nurse didn't get mad at me. They listened, took me out for a walk. They left me alone in a good way. So I decided to be a nurse. For the first time, I was able to achieve the life I wanted on my own. However, I started to flashback in classes, like nothing for motherhood and pediatric nothing. I started to lose my sleep. By the beginning of the second year, I was not well enough to work. If I paid my tuition, I could not pay my rent. And if I took a leave of absence, my scholarship will stop. I went to the government office to see if I could receive social assistance. The officer told me, "College is luxury." The next moment, I woke up in the hospital. Apparently, I tried to kill myself. I left nursing college. I fell from the track of being normal again. Once I was discharged, I started to go to trauma therapy as well as community support center. Eventually, I started to think I am allowed to live. Still, I felt alone. A few years ago, I attended a conference of young adults who experienced childhood abuse. Almost half of us could not leave home to be in a group home. It was my first time share my experience with peers. Through this experience, I could make my experience of childhood abuse a past. The adult volunteers held a space for us, and we are friends till this day. This experience led me to launch an organization called Abuse.net, a peer support network to create a supportive environment for adolescents to young adults who have experienced childhood abuse, so that when we try to live our lives, the memory of abuse won't control us. My friends came together to support me. I worked, graduated from college, and started a social work school. I think daily about how I will spend the rest of my life. A lot of my peers didn't make it. I have thought many times about why I could survive. I was lucky. It's crazy that life and death depend on luck, and it shouldn't be this way.